This video is about what I've learned this semester and my accomplishments. My first review page is about the iPad starter guide, and this is basically just some things that I didn't know that I could use in the iPad. The starter guide was very useful to me in knowing how to use the tools that I didn't even know were available to me. My next review is on the Apple Teacher iMovie. This was basically step-by-step instructions on how you can use videos to teach in your classroom. I earned my badge in this, and my review is just how handy it could be to use iMovie for projects, and then my reflection is just telling you how much the younger generation is born into technology and how this is very helpful to know. Hooked on Intervention by Carl Hooker is a blog that I read about, and it talks about Generation X, and then it talks about how there are points in life where technology is like useful and where it's just bashed upon. But he said that there are things about what people say that aren't true, and he has a website that's iPalooza, which is just basically everything against the stereotypes, and it's a pretty interesting website if you visit it. Dave Burgrass is the next person that I read about, and on his blog he talks about Teach Like a Pirate, his book, and it's basically saying how you should engage your students and create a conversation with parents in a community. And below has a video about Dunk Tank, and it talks about his 10 books in 8 minutes, which is pretty interesting. He has a very famous Twitter page and Pinterest. This review is about TechEdge, which is a website on many different apps that you can use in the classroom, and I chose 3 of them. To Do Math is my first app. This app is just a bunch of games that you can have students review in, and there's multiple answers and ways to get them, and it helps students with maybe a learning disability. There are certain things that you can adjust on this app. Properties of Matter, Pirate Adventure. This is about matter and what things flow and how to weigh things, and there's different games on here for teachers to look at and to modify for students in their classrooms. Lizard Point is an older app or website that teachers can use. It's for 4th grade and up, and it has a bunch of geography games, and students can assess their own learning, and they can do it from home as well. Google Communities is a review that I did about connecting with different teachers and things for classrooms and ideas, and I chose the elementary school teachers community and the math for kids community. Elementary for school teachers, there's just a bunch of different lessons or ideas that people have been bouncing off of. And then math for kids, this is a guy who posts pictures that are relevant to math and how to make math more interesting for kids. He has 2 of his own, and he talks about their homework on there as well and the things he likes about it. One Best Thing. This is talking about the use of Apple technology in the classrooms, and it's a book to demonstrate technology in teaching and learning. Just Right Books at Their Fingertips is Christy Muiz, and she has a bachelor degree, and it talks about her book and how an app is used by teachers who create books in the classroom, and there's different tutorials on it, and I talk about how organized it is, and how I would use it in the classroom is you can read a section and highlight the important details of that section, and you can have your students all reading the same thing or on different levels. Shelly Fryer, she's part of the workshops for the Oklahoma A+ schools, and she provides a program for teachers, and she has a blog, Technology 101 Skills for Teachers, and she writes about technologies in the classrooms and how it's important to know what you're doing with technology in order for it to be effective. She uses tools like the hamburger tool. She calls it things that are similar to kids that they can learn. And then my other reflection is about my group work on the Catalyst. We created this video about KNX and how you could use it in a lesson, and it's not just one specific lesson, it's more of a broad lesson that teachers can incorporate into their lessons. This is my Canva covers, and there's a slideshow right here about some of them that I created on my Pinterest board. This is my projects that I've done. I did a Canva poster over Mozart and how you can use information history in Canva. iMovie is the next project that I did, and I created a trailer called The Day You Almost, and it's about drinking and driving, and it's a heartwarming video about why you shouldn't drink and drive and why you should think before you drink. This is my page about fractions, and I use the Spark page, and here it's loading, but you can create a informed lesson on the website, and I did mine about fractions. And as we scroll through it, you can kind of see that you can add pictures, and there's places for videos and different texts for what you're talking about and the steps you would take to teach the lesson. I did a Spark video on fractions as well, and I'll play a little bit for you. And the sound's not on, but you can record your voice to these, and that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm talking about what I wrote. And this is very helpful for kids who miss class. And there should be some fractions, and it has a picture of the numerator and the denominator, and I'm also talking during these clips. Note card confession. This is about writing a story on note cards and just playing it on a video. This is how kids can connect their feelings if they don't feel like they can talk. They can do it through note cards like this. You can also have students create a story, and they can do it on their note card or talk about a person that they learned about. It's very this one, How It Feels, is about bullying, but you can do it about many other topics. The next project is point of view. I did an infographic on point of view, and I did first person, second person, and third person, and I used Canva as well for this, and this is also on my Pinterest. And then my last project was a tutorial for Kahoot, and I used a app that allowed me to use pictures and write on it as I record my voice, which is pretty cool.